astronomers have confirmed the existence of an Earth-like planet in the habitable zone around a star not unlike our own. The planet, Kepler 22b, lies about 600 light-years away and is about 2.4 times the size of Earth, and has a temperature of about 22 Celsius. It is the closest confirmed planet yet to one like ours in Earth 2.0. However, the team does not yet know if Kepler 22b is made mostly of rock, gas or liquid. Toxic emissions from Alabama's coal-fired power plants earn the state the number 8 spot among the filthy 15 states, according to a new analysis by the Environmental Integrity Project, a non-profit environmental advocacy group. The report, released today, looks at the totals of toxic substances such as arsenic, chromium, hydrochloric acid, lead, mercury, nickel and selenium emitted by power plants across the country. The toxic emissions are self-reported by the utilities to the Environmental Protection Agency. The EPA is expected to issue new regulations shortly that will require electric utilities to cut the toxics released from their smokestacks. Washington's Union Station is undergoing 10 months of repairs to its ceiling as a result of damage from the rare August earthquake that rattled the region. Marijuana's conflicted legal status leaves patients in Canada hurting for the medicine they need. In June of 2010, police arraigned 38 people on charges of conspiracy, possession and drug trafficking after raiding 5 Montreal area compassion clubs, otherwise known as medical marijuana dispensaries. The crackdown stranded hundreds of critically and chronically ill patients, who suddenly found themselves without access to their medication for various painful conditions, including cancer, HIV/AIDS, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis and arthritis. Solar storms and associated coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, can significantly erode the lunar surface according to a new set of computer simulations by NASA scientists. CMEs are basically an intense gust of the normal solar wind, a diffuse stream of electrically conductive gas called plasma that's blown outward from the surface of the Sun into space. A strong CME may contain around 1 billion tons of plasma moving at up to 1 million miles per hour in a cloud many times the size of Earth. The Moon has just the barest wisp of an atmosphere, technically called an exosphere because it is so tenuous, which leaves it vulnerable to CME effects. The plasma from CMEs impacts the lunar surface, and atoms from the surface are ejected in a process called sputtering. We found that when this massive cloud of plasma strikes the Moon, it acts like a sandblaster and easily removes volatile material from the surface, said William Farrell, Dream Team lead at NASA Goddard. Peru's President Ollanta Humala has declared a state of emergency in a northern region that has seen bitter protests against a gold mine project. Those against the project say it will destroy local water supplies. 6 ski resorts are forced to delay openings. France and Switzerland have been badly affected by record-breaking snow shortages during a week where thousands of Britons are preparing for festive getaways. Bob Little, president of Little Construction in Port Townsend, shows the floating home his company is building at the port of Port Townsend shipyard. "We'll launch just like a boat," he says. For the second time in less than a week, a small earthquake hit Massachusetts. Monday's 1.4 magnitude quake was centered just outside of Northampton. Over 13 early morning landslides cut off parts of the Peru main road from Sans Souci to Grand Riviere, in northeast Trinidad after heavier than usual rainfall. Also, heavy rains set off a landslide in central Colombia. The landslide was triggered near El Salado. An unusually heavy rainy season has been blamed for at least 121 deaths in Colombia since September. Scientists report that they have found the biggest black holes known to exist, each one 10 billion times the size of our Sun. A team led by an astronomer at the University of California at Berkeley discovered the 2 gigantic black holes in clusters of galaxies 300 million light-years away. Mount Gamalama volcano burst to life on Sunday in a blast that dusted villages and sent thousands of people to flight on the Indonesian island of Ternate. City of London police have sparked controversy by producing a brief in which the Occupy London movement is listed under domestic terrorism/extremism threats to city businesses. Strange geologic activity in Bac Tra, Vietnam as an exploding mountain invading frogs cause earthquake concerns. With increasingly violent mountain explosions, residents of the town cannot help but feel anxious, as the intensity of the quakes keeps increasing. The nearby mountain of the Trong Son chain explodes ever more loudly every night. A state of emergency was declared in Uniontown, Kentucky, after pumps that keep water out of the town failed. The pumps move water through the hoses and out to the other side of the levee to keep the water out of town. On Monday, it is reported that one of the pumps broke, and water began flooding local streets and roads. An Air Force crew damaged a component of a supposed unarmed intercontinental ballistic missile while performing maintenance near a North Dakota base last month, prompting a partial evacuation, military officials said for the first time Monday the 5th of December, even though this event occurred on November 17. A strange wildfire in state of Minnesota was buffeted by strong winds. The fire is under investigation, but authorities wasted no time saying that they believe it was intentionally set with the use of fireworks. A firework was thrown out of a car window along Leaf River Road, starting the fire, they said. Two malls that served as a testing ground for the introduction of a cell phone tracking system of shoppers have been forced to temporarily suspend the program after a call from Senator Charles Schumer over general privacy concerns, as well as the legality according to U.S. regulations. Apple and 5 of the world's biggest publishers are under investigation for colluding to push up the price of e-books by as much as 50%. Tokyo Electric Power Company said Tuesday, December 6 that around 150 liters of water containing strontium and other radioactive substances has flowed into the Pacific from the Fukushima No. 1 nuclear power plant. It is being said that a strong easterly flow up in the mountains of California created what is being called a rare reverse Sierra wave. With persistent chemtrails making our skies more and more into a checkerboard each day, and scalar wave-type clouds marring the horizon, surely, this can't be explained away so easily. Undersea views reveal that Japan's colossal earthquake ripped deep fissures in the seafloor and raised undersea cliffs hundreds of feet, scientists reported Tuesday the 6th of December. In some places, we cannot see to the bottom of the seafloor fissures, says geophysicist Takeshi Tsuji of Japan's Kyoto University. Apple has submitted more detailed plans for the site of its second campus in Cupertino, California, and the city council posted plans to its website on the 6th of December. The new campus, which is located across town from the company's headquarters, was originally pitched to the council by the late Steve Jobs as resembling a spaceship. The new plans give us a more detailed look at what the new campus will look like. Multiple class actions across the country name service providers AT&T, Sprint and T-Mobile, as well as major manufacturers Apple, Motorola, and Samsung for violating the Federal Wiretap Act, the Stored Electronic Communications Act, and the Federal Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. Lawyers who filed the class action complaint in federal court said in a press release that the case is an unprecedented breach of the digital privacy rights of 150 million cell phone users. The complaints claim that software designed and sold by Carrier IQ, Incorporated was secretly spying on the activities of smartphone users with a device that tracks keystrokes and sends the information to carriers. A new perimeter security and trade agreement between Canada and the U.S. is being touted with aims to make everything from travel to cross-border business easier, coordinating regulations. The government argues Canada loses no sovereignty in the agreement, and assures us that both countries retain the power to allow people and products into and out of the country. These agreements represent the most significant step forward in Canada-U.S. cooperation since the North American Free Trade Agreement, Prime Minister Stephen Harper said in a statement. Okay, friends, sovereignty is surely at stake here, and there is much evidence to show that a North American Union is forming beneath our feet whilst we play. SETI is back. The Allen Telescope Array is once again searching planetary systems for signals that would be evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence. Among its first targets are some of the exoplanet candidates recently discovered by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope. German Desertec, with Siemens Deutsche Bank, as part of a grand scheme, are to harness desert sun and wind, in areas of sweeping regime change, to power Europe. A massive influx of jellyfish shut down the St. Lucie nuclear power plant in late August, but it is only now, in December, that nuclear regulators, wildlife officials and marine researchers are learning that the event also killed several tons of protected Goliath grouper. Once again, firefighters stood by and watched a Tennessee house burn to the ground earlier this week because the homeowners didn't pay the annual subscription fee for fire service. It's the second time in 2 years firefighters in the area have watched a house burn because of unpaid fees. Last year, Gene Kranick of Obion County and his family lost all of their possessions in a house fire, along with 3 dogs and a cat, because the fire fee wasn't paid. A fire and explosion occurred at a compressor facility in the Jonah natural gas field in western Wyoming. Stephen Smith of the Sublette County Sheriff's Office says the fire was first reported at 12:07 p.m. Tuesday, December 6, followed shortly after by reports of an explosion and flames 100 feet high. On December 8, the Environmental Protection Agency said for the first time that chemicals found in Wyoming drinking water were likely associated with hydraulic fracturing used to tap natural gas in the area, raising tensions in the debate over the drilling practice. The agency, responding to complaints from people in Pavilion, Wyoming, drilled a pair of deep wells in the area and identified the chemicals in groundwater. A cannonball shot during an experiment gone awry on the television show Mythbusters crashed into a home in Northern California, but no one was injured, the company behind the program said on Wednesday. The mishap took place 1 day earlier during filming at an Alameda County Sheriff's Department bomb range in Dublin, California, which is about 25 miles east of San Francisco. During the testing, a cannonball took an unforeseen bounce from a safety berm, Discovery Channel, which airs the Mythbusters show, said in a statement. Another minor earthquake rattles North Texas. This follows a 3.0 magnitude in Texas on the 24th of November, and also it follows a rare quake in South Texas on October 20, 2011. Also, the U.S. Geological Survey confirms a 3.0 magnitude earthquake with an epicenter 11 miles west-southwest of Trinidad in Colorado the evening of December 8. A landslide forced Oregon Department of Forestry officials to close a camping area along Ben Smith Creek in the Tillamook State Forest. The 18-acre slide dumped trees, earth and rocks into the stream and caused it to change course, creating the potential for a large debris flow down Ben Smith Creek into the Wilson River. Air stagnation, foul air and fog that occurred much of this week in the northwest will continue for the first part of the weekend. Light winds over much of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Northern California and southern British Columbia will continue. Folks with cardiac and respiratory problems should avoid being outdoors for long periods of time due to the buildup of pollutants said to be caused by the weather pattern and routine daily activities. Did the Daily Mail go off script? The Press Complaints Commission has upheld a complaint against the Daily Mail for publishing the incorrect verdict in the Amanda Knox case. In addition to the main thrust of the complaint which concerned accuracy, the complainants were also concerned about additional elements of the reporting which included already made quotes full up with reactions, and much more prefabricated garbage.